with AMD's Navi 48 RDNA4 with its 53.9 billion transistor density on the GPU die crushes NVIDIA's Blackwell density? Is NVIDIA doomed, or will they just shrug it off like everything else? Let's get into this. Hey everyone, it's your boy LockTech back at again, and yet again, February keeps giving with all these juicy tech news tidbits and rumors and leaks and whatever else you want to put under the sun. Now today I want to talk about something very unique. We don't really talk about transistor counts or densities on these GPUs that much because that's more for the technical heads. But I thought it was worth mentioning that supposedly there's a leak saying that AMD's Navi 48 RDNA4, which means the 9070 XT and the 9070 respectively, crushes NVIDIA's density on their new Blackwell architecture, which means the 50 series. And I'm surprised to even hear this because I always thought NVIDIA had the higher transistor count, and also since I also had the more RT cores, of course. But I was surprised to see this article, and some of the articles are saying, but this article was particularly on video cards, and they're saying that there's a rumor or leak or whatever you want to call it, but it seems pretty convincing with the details they put in that article. And it's saying that 53.9 billion transistors is the amount of density that AMD has on RDNA4 on a GPU die. I'm not sure the exact number for NVIDIA's, but I think it's either just under 50 or in the high 40s. I don't know exactly. But not only is the transistor size higher, or density-wise, but there are also talk in that same article that the millimeter sizing of the GPU die is smaller than NVIDIA's one. I think NVIDIA was like 378 or something like that millimeters squared, and AMD's was like 350 millimeters squared or something along those lines. But that's a good chunk of millimeter difference between size-wise. We all know that even NVIDIA said themselves on their keynote in January that they went on a bigger die this time around. This die was bigger than the 40 series, and they did that just to put more AI stuff and jibber jabber on it. And that's because they did all of this, they want to charge an arm and a leg. But that's a story for another day. But they said that the size was a big outstanding factor for the GPU die for Blackwell, and they were even saying that because of that they had the performance that they were looking for. But then we all saw the reviews from 5090 all the way to 5070 Ti, and we all were disappointed. I am not expecting anything more than more disappointment when the 50 series launches in just about a week and change, I think. I think it's beginning of March, end of February, it's supposed to launch according to NVIDIA. But we'll see. I'm not getting our hopes up. All the launches for NVIDIA for the 50 series have been paper launches so far and jacked up pricing for no reason. There's no way a 70 series car should be in the 80 series type like group as far as pricing. So that was a hot mess, and I really hope people finally open their eyes, if they didn't know it already in last gen, that NVIDIA is not the fit to go to spend if you don't want to spend an arm and a leg for hardly any generational performance bump. So that's just me. Do what you gotta do, but I personally am not giving NVIDIA any more hard-earned money. Over the years, I alternated between the two, and when I saw NVIDIA going on that dark path years ago, I said, you know what, I'm just gonna start getting AMD stuff. And even though they were always second, like I feel like saying with the memes, they were always known to be the performance and price king. I really hope they go back to those roots as far as their launches for RDNA4 and any other RDNA after RDNA4 this year. So we all hope that they go back to that and they don't follow NVIDIA's marketing structure of charging overly priced amounts on top of the tariffs they're already getting for next gen and upcoming tech stuff. But I think that's a big gap. The 53.9 billion is really ridiculous. That's a really, really dense die, and the die itself is smaller as well. So I'm looking forward to see if they did that, specifically chose that size to squeeze more performance out of the RDNA4. That's the real question. I guess we can only speculate, and we can only find out when the reviews go live. I think end of February, next week. I think it's next week Friday or something is end of February. I really hope that they really back up what they were saying. They were very silent recently, and they didn't say much about the RDNA 4 besides the reason they delayed it. But hopefully it's not just like a carrot on a stick crap, and actually deliver and give NVIDIA a well-needed gut punch. But I just want to share this ridiculous gap of transistor density with you guys, because I know we don't look too much about the engineering behind GPU dies, but I thought it was kind of neat to say that they got way more density than the all-reigning Blackwell from NVIDIA. So let me know what y'all think on the comments below. Are you surprised that their density is higher than NVIDIA's? Did you expect it to be less? Did you expect the GPU die to be less millimeters? Let me know in the comments below what you think about this whole difference between the density. And until then, this is your boy LockTech signing out.